Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for
The Natural Lifestyle Show.
I'm Billy.
I'm Angel.
And got Skylar and Eliana in the next room.
And she's giggling at her shoes.
Yep.
And our other daughter's in the other room too. Today our subject is breastfeeding basics for beginners.
I haven't done that before. So I'm going to learn.
You'll be prepared after this.
I'll be prepared.
We're doing this for you. But yeah, these are some 6 tips that I have put together. I was going to say 5, but then I looked at my paper, it's 6. This is 6 tips that I've put together that I think that would have been very helpful for me to know at the very beginning.
So we're going to start from 1 or we're going to start from 6?
Well, they're all equally important, I think.
Okay.
So I could start anywhere, really.
Alright.
But yeah, if you've just had a baby or if you're about to have a baby and you're going to breastfeed or you are, these tips will help you to transition and not give up.
I'll do the countdown.
Okay, because at first, if you've never done it before, it is it can be a bit of a challenge, and I just don't want you to give up. So hopefully this will make you say, "Oh, well, I'm not the only one, and this is what I can do about it," and so it can give you a chance to persevere on.
Okay, here we go. Number 6.
Now we're going to start from number 6. I'll start number 1.
They don't know what number it is.
Okay. The first thing I would suggest is making sure you have a good latch, that the baby has a good latch.
Like a door hinge.
Because and the way the latch should be is the baby should have its mouth wide open, and they say to put the baby on the breast. That's what they say. And especially in the beginning, yeah, I mean, because once you get the hang of it, it really doesn't matter if you do this or not. But at the very beginning, it is very beneficial. And when they're hungry, they'll open their mouth. But sometimes it takes them a little while to open really wide. Sometimes they'll just open a little, but you wait till they open as wide
as they
can, and then you just put them on. And that way, they'll get a good latch because your nipple should actually go toward the back of their mouth. And if it doesn't, then they're going to be biting down on it. It's going to hurt. So if it's hurting, then you know that you don't
Something's not right.
Yeah, then you know that there's not a wide enough latch. So you just want to redo it. And the way to take a baby off when you have a latch is to stick one of your fingers in their mouth, preferably probably your pinky because it's the smallest, and that'll break the latch so that you're not in a tug of war with your baby, because you don't want to be in a tug of war with your baby. But yeah, that was a really good tip from me. I knew that, but I didn't know that I wasn't doing it until about a week into it. A lactation lady showed me, and it didn't hurt, and I was like, wow, you know. And even though I knew it, another nurse had shown me before, it kind of just really clicked the way she showed me, and I was very grateful for her to do that. And if you want to see some correct latches or hear more about them, there's other videos on YouTube and probably things online. But I mean, yeah, basically just when the baby opens really wide, just put them on, and there you go.
I mean, don't forcefully do it.
No, they'll be ready if they're hungry and their mouth's wide open. Yeah, but don't be forceful. Gently put them. But sometimes you do have to be fast, especially in the beginning, because
because they're quick.
Yeah, because sometimes they won't keep their mouth in the right position for long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's tricky in the beginning until you both get the hang of it. I also want to mention that a good latch will probably be pretty hard. I don't know if it would be real possible with a tongue tie. He had a tongue tie, and he had it clipped, so thank God for that. Because it was much better after it was clipped. We hated to get it done, but I wanted to breastfeed him. You know, I don't believe that you should just do formula just to avoid a small clip.
Yeah.
You know. So number 2 suggestion would be support. I think support's really important, especially if, like I said, you're new to it, which I had pumped for my other daughter, but pumping is different than breastfeeding, so you're going to want some support. We had 2 doulas that helped with the birth, and they were actually my first support because they stayed there for an hour, the golden hour, and you know, guided me and him with the breastfeeding. And it's interesting that when a
I
baby
now know how to breastfeed.
that when a baby's born, they'll actually do what they call, I think they call the breast crawl, isn't it? And you just lay them on your stomach or whatever, and your breasts smell like amniotic fluid. I don't know what I was going to say, amniotic fluid. And so they smell the amniotic fluid on their hands, and they smell your breast, and they go toward that naturally for their first meal. So that's something that God designed there that a lot of people don't know about. And so not only were the doulas supportive to me, I talked to some of the nurses during our stay there and learned some things from them. Some of the nurses are very, have a lot of education in breastfeeding. And then also we called the lactation consultant who was there, and she came up and talked to us.
Yep.
And then at our first doctor's visit, we talked to another lactation consultant. And so that was all very, very helpful. And then I also watched some YouTube videos, went to some breastfeeding websites and forums, and learned a lot there. And so that's what I suggest to you too. And also, there may be some local meetings in your area that you want to go to. I really can't do that, but you know, a lot of people get some benefit from that. So, number 3. I'd like to talk about, this is something that's very common in the beginning, is what to do when you have too much milk, because before your body starts regulating it, this is going to happen. I mean, it's happened to me every time I've had a baby, so I'm pretty sure it happens to everybody else.
Yep.
You get engorged, your breasts make too much milk at the beginning, and it can be painful, and you don't know what to do sometimes. But I'm telling you what to do.
There you go.
First,
Or a suggestion.
yeah, well, you want to nurse your baby as often as he or
possible.
she wants to eat, or as possible. But chances are that's not going to do it. You know, get you out of the situation. You can pump out extra. And some people say to be careful with that, because the more you pump, the more your body makes or whatever. But
you want your body to make it.
yeah, you do, and you know, I don't think your body's going to stay in a state of engorgement, so I think that you're pretty safe in pumping out the extra during this period. I really do. I mean, I was okay with it. Also, when it got to the point where it was really, really uncomfortable for me during this time around, I used a heating pad, which I had read about online, and a warm shower, and that really did it. To put a heating pad on it, and then I rested, and then the next day it was better.
Add a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of sweetener, and maybe add chocolate milk.
No, that's not
Hot chocolate.
that's not recommended. But yeah, that's what to do. And some people will say like use cabbage leaves or whatever, but I would be very careful to stay away from anything that discouraged a milk supply. If you want to breastfeed, I would say just don't do that.
Just remember, whatever you eat is going to be what's in the milk.
Yeah, but I mean, they actually put the leaves on them. On their
really?
stuff. Yeah, but I wouldn't even do that, because I don't want to do anything to discourage milk supply.
See, that would confuse me if I see somebody doing that. I'd be like, hey, Eve.
And number
4.
expect sore nipples in the beginning. It's just gonna happen.
I was like, oh man, it hurt.
Yeah, see, he doesn't mind sharing his experience.
Yeah, I don't
He really
mind.
doesn't. And the best thing I found to do, I mean, they sell like this, I cannot remember the name of it, but they sell different creams and stuff. And I used one cream before when I was pumping, and that helped. But that is not vegan, and you know, I'm doing the vegan thing, and so I didn't want to go that route right now. But the number one best thing really is just to rub milk onto your nipples and let it dry, because that's very, very healing. And
Better than what I did.
and there's nothing better, I don't think. I mean, nothing you can buy is better than what God already put there. And you might not think to do it, and that's why I'm telling you now, do it, and you won't regret it. You'll feel a lot better, and you'll be healed up, because you know, in the beginning you might have some cracks or bites, I don't know, depending on what's going on.
What part of the country you're in, and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, I'm saying how your baby's, whether or not you've been getting a good latch or whatever. But yeah, and it's just going to hurt in the beginning, because your body's going to adjust, and you know.
It's an adjustment.
Yeah, it's going to get used to what's going on. And believe it or not, it's not going to hurt. is not going to hurt. So just stay with it, stick with it. It's only going to hurt for a short amount of time. So number
5.
5.
All's count.
My number 5th tip would be number 5th. Hey, I'm making up new stuff here. Would be to feed on demand, because this helps to establish your supply and also make sure your baby gets enough food to eat. But in the very beginning, the baby might just sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. And so, yeah, which he doesn't sleep like he used to. So you'll have to get your baby up, change the baby's diaper. You might even have to change the baby's clothes. You could, and you might have to do skin to skin, you know, your skin to the baby's skin to wake him up, to stimulate him to want to eat. There's different things you can do in the beginning. So it's really important to just feed on demand, or if not on demand, encourage the baby to
as often as needed.
Yeah, to eat as often as possible.
And they're gonna let you know when they're hungry.
Because this is building your supply and building the relationship, and so it's very important to do that. And if the baby is sleeping for a longer amount of time and you don't wake them up, I would suggest pump, because that lets your body know that it's still being called on for milk ever so often. And I still do that now. If he's sleeping for a long time, I'll pump, because I can really tell a difference, because your body you'll know when you do that and when you don't, because
you can feel it.
You can feel it, yeah, because your body, you'll know. You'll know.
You like something's different.
Well, I mean, you'll be making more milk, and it's good to have a good supply. So I mean, that's just my tip, to do that. And number 6. It takes time and learning, so don't give up. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and take time for you and your baby to get to know each other and learn how to do this thing, because even though it's a natural instinct for the baby, it's still a newborn baby, and you know, it's something that the baby's never done before. So you have to be patient with the baby, and you have to be patient with yourself, because and even though you'll read like, this is how you do this a certain way and everything, well, every baby's different and every woman's different, and every situation's different. Everybody's body is different. All the relationship is different and unique. So there's guidelines, but then there's the actual unique relationship that you have with your child with this. And so just give it some time, and you'll get into a groove, and everything will be going good.
Yep.
And there'll be no more pain, and it'll just be what it was supposed to be, how it's supposed to be.
I'll tell you what, this little man good. He put me asleep.
Yeah. And you know, we're really blessed. He's up to over 11.5 pounds now. And that was like, so he's put on about almost 5 pounds in 2 months. So these are my tips, and I hope that this will help you if you're a beginner. And if you know somebody,
help me.
If you know somebody who would benefit from this video, please feel free to share it with them. Please remember to give us a like, subscribe to our channel. All of our social media is down below, including our group on Facebook called Living the Natural Life.
Yes.
So join us there, please, and also sign up for a newsletter. And we'll be making another video very, very soon.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.